Welcome to Divine Feminine Voices, where we explore and define feminine consciousness. Today, my guest is spiritual teacher Shazna Jai. She and I are going to talk about how to master the moment, so stay tuned. For over 24 years, Shazna Jai has been a spiritual mentor and guide whose passion is serving humanity's evolution, reaching the soul essence of each person in creating greater peace, sustainability, and sacred living. Shazna, I'm so glad that you reached out and that we're connecting today to talk about mastering the moment, because as we were talking about before we got going, it's really up right now in a lot of ways. So welcome, and look forward to our conversation.
Thank you. Me too. I just love getting together with you, and Happy New Year. It is the start of the new year, and wow, the energies are strong right now. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like whatever I'm wanting to move through, can't do it unless I have total grace around me. And it's really a different feeling to be that way.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
Usually it's just go, 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 the Chinese New Year shift of energy helped, but what really helped was that yesterday was 2/22. So we had those, six twos on a Tuesday.
I know. Intense. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Intense day. And I'm really appreciating that our conversation ahead of time, that December was really an on fire kind of time in 2021. And then 2022, it got still a little confusing. Things have been like doing this, right? Not quite lining up. And I loved the concept of mastering the moment, because that's a survival technique in many ways. Of course, it's a great spiritual principle for awakening, but it's also great survival, isn't it? During crazy times.
Yeah, absolutely is. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I use it all the time. In fact, it's pretty much a habit now. I can access the moment without a lot of where am I and why am I here, like I used to do, or have I been gone for the last 2 hours, in terms of the connection, because when I say mastering the moment, for me, it means that I'm connected to my divine self and I'm aware of that connection. And that doesn't happen all day long, but it's pretty much, like I said, a habit now. And that's really exciting for me. And yeah.
Indeed. And in crazy times, that's it. And of course, it's the hardest thing to do. And I identify with mastering the moment as much the same way. It's that inner stillness. I'm not in the spin or the buzz of what's going on. I'm aware that I am divine presence in this body, living on this earth. And how do I want to be in this moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It brings you back to your whole self and your soul self and your, whatever you want to call it, that feels really centered and grounded. And I couldn't live my life without it any longer. I mean, really, It's the biggest go-to that I have.
Yeah, it is. And it provides us not only with a sense of serenity, but also, and peace and inner joy, also sustenance, to be able to sustain whatever is going on in this space. And there's a lot going on right now in the world.
There's a lot going on in
space.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
How do you describe your process or your journey of getting to that place where mastering the moment is more of what is your norm?
Well, that's a great question. I love it. When I work with people, I work with the mind. So of course, that's what I do with myself. I look to see where my mind has taken me off target, and that happens because there's so many habitual thoughts in there. We get wrapped up in the story that our mind is playing out right in that moment. But that's not real. What's happening in the moment is what's real. So, but bringing yourself to a conscious place where you literally grab onto that and be a part of, oh, I am in this moment now. Wait a second. I was off in some story in my head. And so over the years of reminding myself and bringing myself in, that's how I've created the habit to where it's very, it's just on call. It's just normal. What I would call my normal is a new normal,
It's nice to know, isn't it? It's not like that I've decided that I need to be in the moment and boom, now it just happens all the time. That it's
No, yeah.
the process involved until that becomes your new normal. And then there's a new goal for what the normal is going to be.
That's right. Exactly. And I will tell you, it really does lend me into that space of all possibility. Mm-hmm. When I'm in the moment, I'm open. The mind it can get closed without your conscious awareness. So with it, the mind is open and generating like a divine intelligence through your system with all of the things that you're dealing with in this moment. Mm-hmm. Like when we just got kicked off, or I got kicked off of our recording, and I didn't make a story about it. I just don't do that anymore. Like, oh, I must be this, or I must have done that, or I should do this, or I should do that. I don't do that anymore. I just went to, okay, maybe I'll just close some things. And boom. It worked.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That really is the beauty, isn't it? That there's no need to make it about someone else and what's wrong or right with them, or about the world, or about ourselves.
Exactly.
About what's right or wrong. That's what I'm really hearing, that mastering the moment is really sinking into your in divine connection. It's all divinely connected.
Yes.
So I can breathe.
I can breathe. I can relax. I can be aware when my mind wants to go into worry, and then just go, what? Wait, I don't do that. What's the point? Because if you really get that what worry is, there's no point in it. You're just replaying a past something or other, right? Exactly. And it's a story. And so why do that? There's no point. See, my focus is, I think like yours too, in keeping the body healthy. It's about all day long. And so all day you have that opportunity. The more your mind is in a conscious mode in the moment, your energy stays very even and equal. And I'll tell you a story to just corroborate that. So I remember, oh my gosh, I'm in a new area now. So I'm building the area and working with people. And I have a Wednesday night meditation every Wednesday night. And in the past, I remember the story that I would tell myself during the day. Oh my God, my day is so full. I'm really too tired to do the evening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would never let myself be too tired. I would just tell myself that. And I did the evening anyway. And then I would go home and, relax and whatever, and be tired, more tired, because I'm telling myself that mantra, the mantras can be your old story too, So now I'm in this different place. I feel like I'm in a whole different space within my being. And I have, so far, this is Wednesday, I'm going to do my meditation tonight, and I'm like looking forward to it. All these people are texting me that they're coming. I'm working with people during the day, interviewing with you, and I'm going to do my thing. And then when I get done, I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, but I can relax now. I mean, there's like no sense of worry around what I have to do or want to do or plan to do. And there's definitely no regret around it.
Right, because that would take all of the joy out of the evening, right? Because the predisposition that gets set up is, oh, I'm going to be tired when this is done. And that drags in the energy field right now.
Exactly.
Women are making a decision about whether they're going to come or not. How you're feeling is in the space.
Yeah.
So it's so beautiful that you recognize the mantra, right? And it's like, oh, I don't need this mantra anymore. And everything can change in an instant.
In an instant. It really is. And it's rejuvenating all day. That's the key. That's what I was talking about, healing. We do healing. For me, I don't call myself a healer because it just comes as an after effect. You get more energy by doing the practices that I share. And so at the end of the day, I don't think, was I tired? Did I get through that okay? No, it's just, wow. Okay, I'm done. Now I can just relax.
Yeah, I discovered something very similar when I was acting, because the number of times we'd be at the end of the day, right? I was a teacher during my acting years, so I taught school during the day with my kids, and I taught special needs kids, so it's constant presence to each child. And I'd grab dinner and I'd run over to where we were doing rehearsal, and I'd be exhausted. But when you're rehearsing, what I discovered quickly is I had to be what that character needed to be.
Absolutely.
And that character generally was not exhausted. Generally, that character might be fearful or excited or curious or afraid, but it wasn't tired. And so I had to rally everything inside me to be what was needed in that moment. And what I'm grateful for is that it taught me that there is no standard I'm like this, unless you choose to live on the same plane, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, your entire life.
Yeah.
That every moment is an opportunity to be who you want to be as that divine expression, every single moment.
Absolutely. That is such a good point and so important, because typically people will just revert to the what they know.
Oh, yeah.
And when you bring in the moment and literally live in it, the possibilities are endless at what you could be in that moment. And so your acting career or your performance in that moment would get highlighted and lightened by all the other energies that you bring in that are not of the mind. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a powerful, powerful lesson for bringing myself into the moment. And it really was, as I look back in time, one of the tools I used.
Yes.
I didn't know it. I was just
didn't know it.
I was just having a great time.
That's what I love, is it's just there. And you accessed it because you wanted to bring your fullness to that moment. So you accessed it. But when you access it consciously, it literally can become a new habit in the mind.
Yes. So talk about that. How do you access it consciously?
I don't have to anymore.
Well, how did you? We'll go back in time for a moment.
Okay, let's go back in
present. Let's go back in time.
If I can actually remember. Oh, okay. I had a very good signal that would let me know when I wasn't in the moment. And that is called tension in the body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so because I would drop down into the tension in my body when I felt it, and, the neck would get tense, or the belly would get tense, or even an arm, something. And all of a sudden I would realize, oh, the pain, it didn't come from my body. Literally, it landed in my body because I didn't correct my thinking and be in the moment. So that's a long way to say, that was my pattern that I used. I used my body and it as an instrument so that I could literally access my divine intelligence, my divine wisdom, my soul connection. And that led me to being in the moment. All of those things meant to me that I was in the moment, and I was accessing more of it by my willingness to shift, just like that. You can see this hand, but then you can see this hand. If you look, it's always there.
Did you find, I'm really curious, did you find you were coaching yourself when the tension built up?
Yeah.
And you become aware of the tension itself. What did you do with the tension, and how did you kind of walk yourself to presence?
Well, the tension, I knew that this isn't intuitive, I think. I knew that the tension would cause me further pain if I didn't take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I knew that it wasn't the body acting out, because I didn't do anything to harm myself. It just, all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, I've been feeling something in my belly, and now I'm aware of it because it's becoming painful. So I let that be my signal to then go into, wow, I'm not in a moment. I'm in some story in my head that has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, nor is it going to bring me the highest purpose of myself in this moment.
Right, right.
So I did coach myself. Some of it was natural and intuitive, and others was like, oh, wow. And then instantly the pain would go away. Instant, like that. No more pain, because the belly doesn't have anything to do with the thoughts unless you ignore it. Then it definitely has something to do with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I talk about that a lot, and it's definitely a part of my journey, that healing is a doorway to awakening.
Yeah.
If we tune into our bodies, as you're describing, right? And that happens still for me. I just came off of a crazy, crazy day yesterday where everybody was like running around and, in a class. It's not the kind of class I would normally go to, or the kind of class I would normally teach. And the energy is just super high, super fast. Let's go. And I was just riled up, and my body was riled up. And I realized that I'd stepped into the whirlwind, right? I was in it, and my body was reacting to it.
Right.
And it's that opportunity to say, wait a minute, this is just a reaction.
Good.
A reaction, right? There's an opportunity here to bring myself into center and allow that healing to calm me down, that presence to calm me down, because the nervous system starts calming down, right? All of your
start breathing.
Start breathing, your oxygen.
Let go of your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it took a while, but back into center.
Absolutely. This is where why I call it mastering the moment, because we really become masters of our own health, our own conscious awareness, our own spiritual growth, and our path. I'm talking to a lot of business people now, professionals that are in business and in corporate, and literally their days are all up here. And when I bring them into a momentary practice where they're literally being in the moment with themselves, they have all kinds of answers that they wouldn't have normally had. So your productivity goes up, your energy goes up, is more sustainable during the day, and you have more energy when you get home to do what you want to do or spend with your family or your beloved, I mean, I just can't tell you how many wonderful things I've learned from mastering the moment. And you just gave a great example.
Yeah, because we do get caught up, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in the world? What's going on with the energy, right? The planets right now,
Yeah.
or what's going on inside of us that we're healing, or the traumas that we're working through. And we're supposed to be attending to those things. That's part of being human.
Yeah.
Being human without getting caught up in
Yeah.
all of that is where we experience the freedom. And most of us have had some moment of that,
Yeah.
some moment where we're in the zone, as athletes say, or artists talk about, right?
Yeah.
You are present to what is there. Timelessness. Oh my gosh, where did
Beautiful.
those 3 hours go, right?
Right?
It's another moment of being in the zone.
Yeah.
And you're in that space.
Yeah.
Mastery of the moment.
I love timelessness. That's a whole nother subject I'd love to talk with you about another time. Uh, it is, I have this whole relationship with time that doesn't match what most people relate
Uh-huh.
to. You have
Me
that too?
too.
We definitely have to talk about this again then, so we can dive into it much deeper. So tell me what you experience in your moving toward the mastery of the moment.
Well, I'm really aware of what pulls me out of it
Uh-huh.
because I really see it as a natural state. And I know that my meditation practice, my sound healing, my healing work, all of it contributes to being there more and more and more in the moment. And I'm really aware of what pulls me out. And we all have something, I think.
What is it for you?
Time.
Yeah,
So there we are, back to right
there
timelessness.
we are.
It's time pressure,
Okay.
that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
That will pull me out. And suddenly I notice my communication's different. It's rushed, it's clipped. I'm cutting somebody off. I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Maybe a little curt.
A little curt. Oh, yeah, a
Yeah.
little cranky. Jeffrey can tell you all about it. And he knows it really well. And it's been my piece for the past year or two, is to really catch that early before
Yeah.
I'm deeply in it. And what I know to be true from working with my kids, working with other adults, and working with myself is that when we have the insight, like I did, I want to be more present all the time, right? We set up this expectation for ourselves. Okay, well, that's going to happen from here on out because I chose it.
Right.
And it doesn't work that way.
No, it
Right?
doesn't work that way.
So now I'm not in the present and I'm pissed at myself for not being in the moment. Just being further out of the moment, right? That if I relax and I say, oh, isn't that interesting? Like
Yeah.
you were talking about with your body, right? You go, oh, this is a clue.
Yeah.
I'm not in the moment.
Yeah.
Then you begin training yourself. And the way I think of it is that usually we catch ourselves in the chaos first.
Yes.
I
Okay. That's
stepped
a
in
good
it.
way to say it.
I'm in the middle of it. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah.
And then we say, okay, what do I need to do? What's my practice? Do I breathe? Do I hum to myself? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to get my hands in some water or my face in some water? Get my fingers in a mudra that reminds me of an inner space? What's my practice, my way?
Yeah. What did you land on?
For me, it's almost always breathing.
Oh, good.
It's breathing and just getting quiet for a moment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
usually all it takes. Or
I have a perfect example of that. I was meeting up with this person on a pretty regular basis last year, and I consistently noticed that I was getting very irritated when I was with this person. And so I said that, I don't know what's going on, but there's some energy where I'm getting irritated and I'm not sure what to do about that. But in staying in the moment, I was saying it, but I was also asking God, to help me. It was like a prayer at the same time. When you speak for yourself, it's kind of like a prayer to the whole universe. Okay. When you give yourself that voice, right? So I said that, and then all of a sudden I got this warm feeling in my body to literally breathe in through my crown, down into my feet, and all the irritation went away and the conversation completely changed.
Oh, no.
So the inner changed, then the outer changed. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, but then later I realized that really wasn't a very good relationship for me. So I actually stopped it. But the teaching, it was almost like I had to keep the relationship until I got the true teaching.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Once you get the teaching, you don't need it anymore. Not that it's bad or wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's just the way divine works is that, okay, you don't need that irritation any longer because you got now how you can be present and allow everything to be just the way it is or not. And then, you choose for the moment, but you choose wiser. You don't choose to run.
Yes.
Or to change anyone.
Mm-hmm. It's a more conscious choice.
Yeah.
That there's a certain energy experience you want to have.
Yeah.
And a feeling inside of you. And that's what attracts those individuals in. And I'm also loving how you really allowed your body and your emotions to be your ally.
Yeah.
They're not our enemies when they're struggling.
Yeah.
They are our allies. And if we tend to them, they'll show us where and what energy is needed.
Absolutely.
Moment. And
so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so often then we're upset with our bodies, right? Or we're upset because our emotions are not where we think they're supposed to be. And, Shana, I've been really blessed in my life. I know you, and I know I've known many, many very much awake individuals in my life. And the concept that there never is a struggle is a weird concept to me. That because this is the way my ancestors explain it, we are always evolving.
Uh-huh.
Even Gandhi, in the midst of all the strife in his country, the tremendous love that he could hold, still humble and aware enough to say, my love burns hot, but not hot enough.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that has always inspired me not to think that there's some magic moment where I never, ever, ever will get stressed again.
That time thing again. The mind loves to do that. Never, ever, ever.
It does, and it is time. That's right. And it's like, then we're totally erased from the moment.
Yeah.
And Gandhi understood, yes, my love burns hot. And there is something yet to experience in this moment that has not yet been experienced.
That's right. And that's how you evolve. This is what I'm learning from it. I'm learning from it constantly. How I evolve is how I allow myself to stay present in the moment and not have an agenda, not have a place that I need to get to, but to literally stay present. I mean, it is just so key. I could give you hundreds of examples of how I use this during the day, but it's not something I use. I can't say it's like, it's just kind of there. And then I watch what happens. I watch this and then I'm thanking God for all the beautiful interactions I've had and the words of wisdom that came out of my mouth that I had no idea I was going to say. And and the people that I get to talk to, I mean, I just said, Misa, it's time for us to get together again. And you wrote me back. I'm like, oh, yay.
Yeah, exactly. And that,
It
and
doesn't matter to me whether you did or you didn't, no
yeah,
agenda.
no
You just
agenda.
do what's there to do in that moment. And I'll tell you another thing that's gotten more fine-tuned, if you will, is the fact that when you're in the moment and paying attention to it and then acting on what is happening in the moment and what you're getting, the results are much more, they're more to your liking, they're more to what you want, they're more, and you don't have to have an expectation for that. It's there for you already. It's just like I've told people so many times, there's always rainbows. You just don't see them until the mist comes, but the rainbows are covering our light all day long. But it's when the mist happens or the sun hits it in a certain light, that's when you actually see it. But it was there all day.
That's such a great reminder. It is there. It's always there. And that's what I learned acting, right? It is whatever it is that
Yeah.
you perceive as the quality of life to be experienced, it
Yeah.
is always there.
Yeah.
And we get
Oh,
to reach in and find it.
right. Exactly. I mean, this goes along with how much we're loved. I mean, literally, if you counted the ways all day long, it's like your gratitude list. Why do you have your gratitude list? Well, because you're being loved that much. So there's that much to be grateful for. Divine keeps giving you things to be grateful for. Okay, good. So, that's what I'm talking about. So it's like this full circle of goodness that we live in, this mastering the moment.
It really is. And the fun of it, when we allow ourselves to be aware that when we're not feeling connected, that's the siren call. That means time to get connected, right? And it's in that connection, you're talking about the wisdom that starts coming through and the insights. And what I love about those insights is that often they're little butterfly moments. The thing that you think, well, what does this have to do with anything that I said that I wanted, that comes through to you to do or to experience is the very energy.
Yeah.
That is the energy that is
Yeah.
manifesting the you that you've chosen to be.
Yeah.
And that can be as simple as sending an email, Misa, it's time for us to get ready. Time for us to connect again. You want to play? Right?
Right. Let's play.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of the things that just really quick, because I know we have to go
Yeah, we did.
about 5 minutes. Do we have like 5 minutes?
About that. Yep.
I want to share with you the gift that I was given as a reminder to open up my cards of destiny and start doing readings again. And so I had my cards in storage and I went ahead and bought new cards. And I'm telling you, the minute I got my cards and my books, it's a deck of playing cards. That's all it is. But these cards are so impactful in my life. I opened the package and I just I went into prayer over them. Oh my God. Because literally, I looked at my cards for the year and I could see the patterns then of what I'm thinking now and how it could manifest and what correction courses I need to take throughout the year. And so when we're off camera, if you want, I'd love to do a reading for you. And I'm doing a special reintroductory price reading for people. So if they're interested, they could just go to my I know it's not you're not even on my website. Just contact me by email, and Misa will give you my email. But I wanted to pick one card just for right now. For us in this moment, like what is this? What is the energy that we've just created? How does that want to manifest? So good to ask a question, before you pick a card. And so what is the intention, for this energy? How does it want to manifest out what we just created? Okay, so you tell me when to stop.
Right there.
Is it this one? Yes. Is it that one?
I don't know. Mattress.
Yeah, I think it was, because that's where
That's where you're.
okay. What is
Oh,
that?
Four of Hearts.
Four of Hearts. Guess what? The Four of Hearts is the love card.
Yeah, I like that.
Marriage card. It's the card of people who want to marry their partnerships or become in a partnership. It could be business or heartfelt. It could be being more in a partnership with your family, So let me just see what else the Four of Hearts has to say. I love my books too. So the Four of Hearts is a sign of protection and love. You and I are all about the love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get my arm out of the picture.
I know it keeps moving in the background. You have two arms now.
I move around a lot. So, okay. The sign of protection and love, marriage, and family. It represents one's marriage and the foundation of love upon which a family and life can be built. The Four of Hearts is usually considered a good influence, especially for a happy family or a social life. You may even turn down offers of love at those times when you are feeling so fulfilled in the areas of friendship and romance. If you are single, the Four of Hearts is a result, or Venus card is a strong indicator of marriage. And one more sentence here. The Four of Hearts can also speak about your home and family and things going on in these areas. It represents, at a most basic level, the foundation of love, which all of our relationships are built on. It is the home of the heart.
Isn't that perfect?
Isn't that perfect? Because we're both building this year. I'm stretching, you're stretching. We're moving into bigger audiences, getting our message out. Not for me, I don't want anyone to feel left out. If there's a little inkling in there where they need a little extra support, I should say, or inspiration, then I want to make sure that they can see me. And I would say the same for you, that they can see you.
There's always a way to connect.
That's right.
Always a way to connect and get what you need. That's right.
That's right. And so the Four of Hearts is almost a guarantee of love expanding.
Well, it's so perfect for these chaotic times that we're in right now as we're doing this today. We're in the midst of, Russia coming into the Ukraine. We're in the midst of COVID. We're in the midst of a lot of transformation on the planet right now.
A lot of transformation.
And so important to remember to be heart-centered, be in the hearth of our real home and the center of our relationships and that love. I really think that's the perfect card for right now. Keep staying our hearts through all of this.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the foundation of love.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Everything has the foundation of love in your life. You're going to be okay. That's right. I did a reading earlier today, just one quick story. And this woman was telling me that she's been married for 41 years and she and her husband are having a long distance relationship because of her job. But she said, it's really fine because he's got some habits I'm really tired of and blah, 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 but I'm not going anywhere. And I kind of held her to that. I'm not going anywhere, so she had the Four of Hearts in her year. And I said, the only thing there is for you to do is bring the love back in your relationship. When you are together, because they have a once or twice a month that they get together. When you are together, you just reignite what you already know is there. And here's the key. Don't change him. Don't try to change him. Let him be who he is and appreciate him. You're only seeing each other twice a month. Now, she didn't expect this, but it just came through. When you do that, he can't help but fall in love with you and then change for you, because he wants to make you happy, but not because you ask him to.
Yes. Yes, that's
She was like,
yeah. I love that. That is it. That's the transformative energy. And that's also being in the present. What
yeah,
is mine to be aware of in this moment?
yeah,
Because if we're trying to change somebody, we're living
yeah,
the past of them or the future hope of them, but we're not being present to who they are in the moment.
right,
We've
exactly.
lost touch. So that is part of mastering the moment. I love it. What a beautiful place to close, too, for
Yes,
people that are
yes,
really,
yeah,
really aware of their relationships right now. And
yeah.
you have a website with a contact page? Is that
Yes, my website has a contact page. It's
okay?
shanajay.com. My name spelled out, no periods, no dashes, just, all together. And definitely contact me, there. My email is there, onenesscoach@gmail, or you can use my name, shanajay@gmail. And I'm going to post this on my website. I mean, on my YouTube channel for you as well, sweetheart.
Good.
So I'll give your information so people can contact you as well.
Yeah, marvelous, marvelous. So remember when you contact Shana that she's offering those of you that are viewing here with us today 50% off her transformation class. You can talk to her about this really fun reading, and she gave me some clues about mine, and I am so excited to hear more. This is going to be a great year, and I'm grateful for that. And that's part of the joy, right, of being in the present moment, is then we can look toward our past and our future a little differently, a
Absolutely.
lot
Even,
differently.
yeah, even for the things that are not going to go well, there's always a blessing in that. And so to be able to see that, and through the cards, I can help you see that,
Yeah,
and whew, we're ready for transformation because we're tired of this, the way that it's gone.
yeah.
The
We
last
need
couple of years have been such a strain on us emotionally, physically, mentally, health wise. We need to literally take a different route, and spiritually is, of course, my preference. But if you, I will show you, like Misa showed you, that is the way that's going to help you the most of all of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
indeed. That's the joy.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
thank you. What a great conversation.
Ah, yes.
Love to you. Love to everybody who's watching. And be sure to check our links below. Remember to subscribe if you've enjoyed the subscribe so you get more notices. And check out Shayna's link below. Check out mine. Grab a free copy of the Holding Meditation, which is a lovely way to go
Mm,
into the presence of the moment.
beautiful,
And
beautiful.
with that, I look forward to next time. Take care.
We'll see
So
you
much love to
soon.
all. Bye bye.
Bye.